Hello students, I am your biology lecturer. Up to now we have discussed about the very important topics of genetics, monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross. In the monohybrid cross, exception for the law of dominance, we discuss about the two things, that is incomplete dominance and a codominance. Example for the incomplete dominance, that is a snapdragon. Okay. In that we discuss about the phenotypic ratio and genotypic ratio. Then we discuss about the codominance. Example for the codominance is a blood group. Okay. AB blood group in human beings is an example for codominance. Okay. Today we will discuss about the one of the very important topic, that is chromosomal theory of inheritance. Okay. Before going to start that topic, I will make one table. It will help you to remember the important things which we studied in the previous classes. Firstly, monohybrid, then dihybrid, monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross, incomplete dominance, then codominance. Are two gametes, number of gametes are 2, by the dihybrid 4 gametes, by incomplete dominance 2, in codominance 2 gametes will produced. The offsprings which produced, the number of offsprings will produced by monohybrid cross are 4, by the dihybrid 16 offspring will produced by, then incomplete dominance 4 offsprings, by codominance 4. Okay. Then the phenotypic ratio of monohybrid cross is 3:1. Then dihybrid cross 9:3:3:1. Then incomplete dominance 1:2:1. Same codominance 1:2:1. Then the genotypic ratio for monohybrid cross is 1:2:1. Then dihybrid cross ratio 1:2:1, ratio 2:4:2:1:2:1. It's very simple. Then incomplete dominance ratio is 1:2:1, codominance genotypic ratio 1:2:1. The examples which we studied for monohybrid cross is a pea plant stem height. Okay, that is small t, capital T. Then dihybrid cross pea plant seed shape and color. Then incomplete dominance, we discussed the example snap dragon flower color red and white, R and R, here R, Y, Y. Then for codominance we discussed, that is the human blood group AB blood. Okay, this is a very important table which we studied in the previous classes. If you remember this table, you can easily get the marks. Okay, please practice this table, please revise this table once for when we are going for the please practice this table, it will help you for examination. Okay, then next one, today I will start a new topic, that is chromosomal theory of inheritance. Chromosomal theory of inheritance. Okay, this is a new topic. Here, before going to start this topic, we have to learn about chromosome. What is chromosome? Where we can see the chromosome? The chromosomes are the colored structures. Colored structures we can see in cell, that is the nucleus, only during cell division, particularly in the metaphase stage. Okay, in the previous class also I told that the chromosomes are the color structures or the spindle shaped structures which we can see in the cell or in the chromosome only during the metaphase stage of the cell division. Okay, then these are the structures, spindle shaped structures. I am going to draw the bivalent chromosomes. Then in the last class we discussed about the homologous chromosomes. Homologous chromosome, which are the pair of chromosomes or the identical chromosomes. One chromosome came from our mother, one chromosome from the, one is paternal chromosome, one is a maternal chromosome. ಒಂದು ತಂದೆಯಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಒಂದು ತಾಯಿಯಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಎರಡು ಸೇರಿಸಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ that is a homologous chromosome. Okay, then inside the chromosome the DNA has a genetic material is present. In the initial class I explained all these things, but this is a very important topic, that's why I am going to revise briefly. Okay, then the DNA, which is a double stranded genetic material which having the nitrogen bases, pentose sugar and peptide bond. Okay, then when the nitrogen base pairs are commonly known as a codons, which are arranged in the DNA. Okay, a small unit of the DNA is called gene or a small segment. ಇಷ್ಟುದ್ದ DNA ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ when we take the small stretch is called as gene. One thing you should remember here, Mendel worked on a pre-plant in the year 1865. Okay, at that time there is no electronic microscope, there is no well developed communication. That's why he didn't use the word gene. Instead of gene, he used the word factors. He did the many experiments. He observed the inheritance of characters. Finally, he concluded that something is going to be transferred from one generation to generation, that something is nothing but the factors. Okay, finally he called that characteristics transformation or inheritance of characteristics only by the factors. Those are nothing but the genes. Okay, in the last class in the previous classes I told that 3 different scientists rediscover the Mendel works and publishes in the national scientific journals. Okay, after their discovery, the science field is well developed. New equipments for the laboratory came, means electron microscope, like that. Up to that 1900, the science field is most advanced than the 1865. Okay. Later the structure of nucleus is discovered and the structure of chromosome is discovered. Then the structure of nucleus is discovered at in the year 1902. At that time, 2 scientists worked on the chromosome and Mendelian inheritance laws and used the new theory, that is the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Okay. In the year, after discovery of the chromosome, 2 scientists, Walter Sulton and Boveri, are the 2 scientists worked on a chromosomes and Mendelian theories of inheritance and gives the new theory, that is chromosomal theory of inheritance. This chromosomal theory of inheritance states that, first point, genes are located at specific location on the chromosomes. Genes are located at specific location on chromosomes. Okay, then homologous chromosomes separate during meiosis. Homologous chromosomes. Let me write all the points, then I will explain each and every point. Okay. Homologous chromosomes separate during meiosis. or during gamete formation. You know that homologous chromosomes are present in the diploid cells. During the gamete formation, the diploid cell going to be produce haploid gametes. The pair of chromosomes or the set of chromosomes are going to separate to individual gametes. Then fertilization restores chromosome number to diploid condition. Then chromosome segregate means separate. Segregate as well as assort independently. Okay. This theory explains both the structure of chromosome and the inheritance theories of Mendel. That's why it is known as chromosomal theory of inheritance. First statement of this theory, genes are located at a specific location on the chromosome. Okay, we know that. The genes have the locus. The position where the gene is present in the chromosome is known as the locus. The genes must and should present on the specific location on the chromosome. The first point is over. Okay. Then second point, homologous chromosomes separate during meiosis. Okay, you know that. In a here I will explain. In the diploid organism, consider this is a testis or the ovary that is diploid in condition. Okay, when during gamete formation, the many gametes are formed. Suppose consider this is spermatogenesis. Those sperms are haploid in condition. Here I will write another one. Consider this is a ovary, only a single ovum will produce, that is at haploid. Okay. Then homologous chromosome separate. Why I am telling homologous chromosome? In every diploid organism, the chromosomes are present in a pairs. Okay, that pairing is known as homologous chromosomes. Okay, every chromosome have its pair, exactly same or identical chromosomes are present in every diploid organism or every diploid cell. Okay, in the homologous chromosomes separate during meiosis. You know that meiosis is a reductional division. It forms a diploid cell into the haploid gamete. Okay, these are the haploid gametes. Sperm, I will write here sperm. This is the egg. Okay, then fertilization restores the chromosome number to diploid condition. During gamete formation, the number of diploid reduced into haploid. But after fertilization, the zygote is formed by the fusion of male and female gametes, means n plus n, haploid into haploid, means the diploid condition restores. Fertilization restores the chromosomal number to diploid condition. Then here next one, chromosome segregate as well as assort independently. Okay, chromosome segregate, this is the law of second law of Mendel. When the chromosome segregate, this is a law of second law of Mendel. Okay, that law states that during the gamete formation, the chromosome segregate independently. You know that here also two chromosome, here also homologous. Totally 23 pairs of homologous chromosomes are present. Here also 23 pairs of homologous chromosomes. Okay. Then the 23 pairs of homologous chromosomes, they are going to be formed gametes. The gametes are haploid only, each gamete having the 23 chromosomes. Each and every gamete have the only single set of chromosome. Another set of chromosome means in the 46 chromosome, 23 goes to the one gamete, another 23 into the another gamete. That is known as a equal separation. Okay, that is a equal probability. Then here same thing, in the egg only the 23 chromosome are present. It depends. It is chance of the factor which 23 chromosomes are present in the egg or which are not present in egg. Then second line as well as assort independently. Assort meant during the gamete formation, you know that the arrangement of chromosome, the expression is depend on the arrangement of chromosome during the cell division. Firstly, once again I will recall cell cycle. You know that G1S, G2, M phase is there. Okay. This is a rest phase, this is a synthesis phase, this is a second rest phase in the M phase. Okay. In the G1 phase only bivalents we can see, here tetravalents after the synthesis of DNA. In the M phase we can see during the meiosis. One second, I will change the pen. Okay. In the meiosis, that is in the mitotic, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2 are the types of meiosis. Okay, in the meiosis we can see 4 different stages. Prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Same here, prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Okay. Then here I will take a pair of chromosomes. Those are known as homologous chromosomes. This is a cell. In that cell we are discussing about only one pair of chromosomes. You know that tetravalent chromosomes will form during the cell division after S phase. S phase is the synthesis phase. DNA going to be double than the previous one. Okay. Then during meiosis, in the metaphase, prophase, there is nothing changes will occur for the chromosome, only the nucleolus disappears, the cytoplasm organelle is double. Okay. Here in the metaphase, the chromosomes are arranged on the metaphase plate. Okay. These are going to be arranged like this. Okay. Next, during anaphase, they are going to be separate. Okay. They form some two individual cells. Okay. Then this is in the anaphase 1. Okay. Now During anaphase 2, that is in the meiosis 2. Okay, I will not explain the telophase, you know that. Okay. During that, two cells are formed, a bivalent chromosome moves into a 4 different gametes. This is what will happen during anaphase 2. Okay, 4 haploid cells are formed. These are going to be separate. Okay, 4 haploid cells are going to be formed. This is the actual process of meiosis. Now I will take, just now I took a pair of homologous chromosomes. Now I will take 2 pair of chromosomes. Now I can take, I will show some possibility of segregation or independent assortment. It depends on the arrangement of chromosomes. Now again I am taking 2 cells for comparison, which is given in your NCERT book. I will show that one only, then it will clear for you guys. Here you can see I explained just now this one only. Sorry for the interruption. Here the possibility 1, one long orange, here it is orange, a short green chromosome. Here you can see, here the short which you are seeing now, these are the pair of chromosome, the long one chromosomes are the another pair of chromosome. These are the 2 pairs of homologous chromosomes. Okay, here during meiosis 1, that is anaphase 1, only the separation of the chromosome occurs. Okay, here then during anaphase 2, the tetravalent is going to be separate into bivalent. Here exactly it's like this. Okay, here in the possibility 2, one long orange and one short red. Here the color of the second pair of homologous chromosome is different here, because it is a random arrangement of chromosome during metaphase. ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕಂತ ಯಾರೂ ಹೇಳಿರಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಆರೆಂಜ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ರೆಡ್ ಆದರೂ ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಯೆಲ್ಲೋ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಆದರೂ ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ರೆಡ್ ಆದರೂ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. ಇಟ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್. ವೆನ್ means how the chromosomes are arranged during meiosis, that type of gamete will form, that creates the variation. Okay, meiosis ಇಂದ ಯಾವುದು ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, it is purely by the arrangement of chromosomes during meiosis. ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾವೋ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಆಫ್ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಯಾವ ಥರ ಗ್ಯಾಮಿಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸಪೋಸ್ ವೆನ್ ಇದೆ ಅದೇ ಥರ ಸೇಮ್ ಈ ಸೆಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಆ ಥರನೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿನೂ ಆರೆಂಜ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ, ಯೆಲ್ಲೋ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ರೆಡ್ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ನೋ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದೀಸ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮಿಟ್ಸ್. But these 4 gametes are differ from each other, because here you can see the variation. The arrangement of second pair of chromosome is differ than the first pair of chromosome. Just ಒಂದೇ ಸ್ಲೈಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಯೆಲ್ಲೋ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬಂದೈತಿ, ರೆಡ್ ಆರೆಂಜ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬಂದೈತಿ. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್. 4 ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ germ cells ಅಂದರೆ gametes, 4 different gametes will form then the possibility 1. Okay, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬುಕ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಅದೇ ಕೊಟ್ರ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಯೂಶ್ವಲ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಲೈಟ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೋಮೋಲೋಗಸ್ ಪೇರ್. ಯಾವ ಥರ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ವಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಕ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ in the meiosis 2 anaphase, the tetravalent are going to be separate to form a bivalents. Those bivalents enters into each gametes. By the meiosis we can see the variation only by the, here I will write arrangement of chromosome during meiosis in metaphase plate. Metaphase plate ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ ದ ಗ್ಯಾಮಿಟ್ಸ್, ಯಾವ ಥರ ಗ್ಯಾಮಿಟ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್. ದ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇನ್ ದ chromosomal theory of inheritance they told that it is a separation. Chromosomes segregate as well as assort independently. Segregate antru ಆಗ್ತಾವ, assort independently means there is no rules for these chromosomes. ಈ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಆರೆಂಜ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಗ್ರೀನೇ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಏನು ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ assort, they can move into any other gametes or move into any gametes. It is just a chance of factor. They have the independent. Okay, it depends on arrangement of chromosomes during the meiosis. They can separate independently with each other. There is no any distinction. The chromosomal theory of inheritance explained that one only chromosome segregate as well as assort independently. These are the 4 important statements which are explained by Walter Salton and Boville. This is known as a chromosomal theory of inheritance. This arrangement and this concept is very important. It will help you to understand the next topic, that is linkage and recombination. Okay. Lastly, after chromosomal theory of inheritance, the another scientist worked on this topic. His name is Thomas Morgan. He worked on a small insect, that is fruit fly, Drosophila. Then he observed many inheritable characteristics and many surprising things in the genetics. Tomorrow we will discuss, means in the next class we will discuss about the linkage and recombination and about the Thomas Morgan. Thank you.